Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews.
Lovely Home is part of a set of board games I got at Dice Tower East and Tom Vassel's flea market. Nobody was really checking out the kids game, which you can tell from this channel I play quite a bit, and I was able to snag some really unique children's games that I've had a blast playing, and Lovely Home is one of them. I'm playing this with my older kids, who I think were 9 and 11 at the time when I started them on this game, and I think you can start maybe as early as 7. There's 3 games in the box, if you will, which each that adds a little bit more complexity as you go. It's a really good thing to do, add a little bit of complexity for the kids. I normally don't like that. I usually like, give me a game and let me play it, and I'll figure out if I like it or not. Not 3 different games. But this one works pretty good, with me liking probably the advanced one the most. You're going to be rolling a dice, going to tell you if you can add something to your moving truck or steal something from somebody else. That's one of the aspect we didn't like, was the stealing. But I think it needs to be there for balancing. Otherwise, you're going to have a runaway leader problem. The whole game is centered around the idea of you're moving to a new house. And this is so interesting to have this, especially if you know somebody like a kid who might be moving soon, to give them this game, because it talks about those emotions they may be going through and how exciting it is to be in the new home and meet new friends and stuff. And this game kind of segues that. And I thought that was a brilliant use of the gaming atmosphere or gaming scope here to add something in that could be a really traumatizing time for kids sometimes, to have their whole house uprooted and we're moving somewhere new, and they get them kind of excited about it and talking about maybe some of their sad emotions they can have. In this game, I mean, in the rule book, I'm not extrapolating this myself. This is in the rule book that they're talking about. And what a great game it is. And you're taking your boxes, you're putting them on the trucks, and you're moving over to the house, and there's certain colors and have to match and numbers, etc. And so you're doing a little bit of addition as you're going through it. Really, really neat game. And I think this is the kind of children's games I want to see more of, that gives the children unique decisions. Maybe something simple. You're rolling a dice, and what does the dice tell me to do? But then how I make those decisions, how I fit those in, can pigeonhole me in the future. So this one has been a winner for us. It's an absolute keeper. And if you're looking for a good children's game, it's one I would tell you to seek out. This is Lovely Home, which is, it's not in English, so it's a very neat game. You see a striking cover that you're going to have here, a nice size box. You get some advertisement for some other games that they produce, which I actually will probably check out. You're going to get a rule book, which we'll take a look at in a few minutes. You're going to get a gigantic wooden dice. This thing is really nice. These are going to be the boxes that you're going to be filling up in here. And you have to sticker them yourself, but they're really nice, chunky pieces of plastic. They're really, really nice. You're going to have these trucks that you'll have, and as they fill up, and these houses that will fill up, etc., you'll be able to put these into them, and they will fit. So if you see here, here's the 12. This will kind of fit in here and showcase that it's done. So real nice fit that you have here. These are a little bit flimsy, but they just kind of sit on the table anyway. All of the components are actually really nice in this game. I've been very impressed. You get plenty of different trucks you can play around with, etc. And I think they did a really good job with the components. Here is the rule book you're going to have. Now, I don't read, I think this is in Chinese. I don't read it, but I use Google Translate to translate all of this. You're going to get a little bit of comic book. It's about these kids that are moving, and it kind of helps kids lose some of the anxiety about moving and how much fun it's going to be. Picture of all the components, which is great. You can count those out. And so there's 3 different games in here. So this is the first basic game. They're going to have the second game over here. And then finally the advanced game, which I feel like is the real game. And there's a little bit of a help over here when you translate it about how to talk to your kids about moving, etc. So pretty good job here, what I could tell. It's a Reiner Knizia game, one you haven't seen before likely, but a very fun game nevertheless. So the first set's going to include just this. And what you're going to be doing is you're going to be filling this up. And you got to make sure when you fill it up, it has at least 2 boxes in it, and they have to be the same color. So you couldn't do something with different colors in it, because that is not going to be allowed. So you could not do that. And then you're going to keep going until all the trucks are full, and whoever filled up the most trucks is going to be the winner. That's the first game. In the second game, everybody's going to get 3 random trucks. Then you're going to roll the die on this one, and you can either pick up 1 box from the center and add it to your truck. You can have one that will add 2 boxes from the center into your truck. You're going to have one that will allow you to steal from somebody else. And you're going to have this symbol that will have everything fall out. That's already in your truck. The first person to fill up all 3 of their trucks is the winner. Remember, when you're doing this, you still have to have ones of the same color. So 2 different colors is not going to work on this one. You would need 2 of the same color. So once you fill up all 3 of your trucks, you are done. In the third game, you're going to grab a house with the number on it that corresponds to the truck. You're just going to have 1. The game's going to be played the same way. If you roll this, you would grab 1 box and you could put it into your truck. If you rolled this, you would grab 2 and put them into your truck. Now, in this version, you are allowed to have different colors. Now, that was a little bit unclear for me in the rule book, but I think, because I'm using Google Translate, but I think that's the only way the game works. We played it without it, and it became a lot of turns we didn't do anything. So I think you can mix and match on this particular version of the game. Now, this one allows you to steal from somebody else. You simply take it from one truck and put it into your truck as long as it fits. And this one would allow everything to fall out of your truck. So, everything fell out. Now, at the beginning of your turn, only the beginning of your turn, if the truck is full, then you can put it up into one of the locations. You can pick whatever you want. This one requires 16. I've got 12. So, obviously, I couldn't put a 7 in there later on in the game. I would need just a 4. So that might go into what you're able to think about. Maybe I'll go a 3 and a 4, and then later on I would get an 8, right? So then what I could do is I could maybe put this 8 down here, I could put the 3 and the 4 here, and now this one is completely full. It's equal to 16. So what I would do is I would take the 16 holder here, I'd put these, now these would go back into the supply so they can be reused. That's going to be very important because people are going to be looking for certain numbers and colors, and they're kind of unapproachable when they're in your house. Nobody can steal them. So you'd put this down showcasing that you finished it, and these go back in once again when you're rolling the dice to become available for the other players. When you fill up all 3 of your house levels, then you'll be the winner of the game. In this case, I'd fill this up, got this, I would roll the dice again, and then I would start filling things up. So this is 10, 8. Maybe I'd go ahead and grab this 10 because I need 18. That would fill it up really nicely. But now I'm stuck here on my next roll. Let's say this, say I got something like this. I'm looking at maybe getting 2 1s or 2. Those are going to be my only options. So I kind of hamstrung myself in there. And that's how you're going to be able to play Lovely House. Who should buy this game? I think this is a fun family game. I think this is a really nice looking and playing children's game. I also think if you know somebody who might be moving into a new house, moving neighborhoods, maybe you know somebody that moves a lot, you see that a lot with military families, this could be a cool game to play with them to talk about those emotions that they bring out in the rule book. And they have questions you should discuss with your children and stuff. Very, very unique and very, very great. And I applaud them for doing so. So Lovely Home is one that our family has really enjoyed, one we'll be keeping, and one I can recommend to you. If you're looking for something a little bit out of the square box that we're used to with kids' games, this could definitely be it for you.